turn around. For so long, we've been here, we've been trying to break.
Welcome to another edition of the Springboard Hangout. The Springboard Hangout, as you know, is your Thursday evening time that you have fun, we are entertained, and most importantly, we learn great things with great people in the studio. Now today, I have the bestest ever hangouts because I'm talking with the love lockdown couple in town. And not only that, we get some good music today. I don't know, but if you have a friend who hasn't yet logged on, please do the person a favor. Ask the person that please is going down right now. So do tune in. Thank you and welcome to another edition. My name is Comfort Okran. Today, I've been privileged to be joined by two lovely people. They are couples that are the talk of town because not only do they understand each other, but they also bring out the best in each other. I'm talking about no other but Ochiame Kwame, otherwise known by his new book name, Ochiame Kwame Nsiao Apao. And Mrs., the one and only, the one who makes it happen, the one who makes sure that when Ochiame is going out, he's got a swag on. That is Anika. Anika, I tell you, is one in, I think, a billion ladies around. So, yes, please tear. So today is going to be beautiful like no other. So don't go anywhere. Don't forget to tell us where you're calling, you're joining us from on our Facebook pages because we would love to hear from you. Let's keep the conversation going. We're going for a quick break. When we return, the conversation goes locked down.
To my faithful girls, humble, willing, and able girls, dedicated to my stable girls.
It's a one-mic jam.
She's not easy, won't give in to anybody. She's patiently waiting for her honey. She don't want your money, our hearts are in harmony. See, I am busy waiting for somebody. Your bed don't mean no me, you're the kind of bring you love. I'm patiently waiting for Kwame. Oh, I don't need your money, our hearts are in harmony. Oh, don't make wow. Miss me don't wow. Oh yeah, she don't need nobody, our hearts are in harmony. Oh yeah, oh don't make wow. Miss me don't wow. Yeah. Oh, me Bobby for Frobby, get on your back, baby.
Capo chess me crossing dream with London. Come fiesta, my boss I question Croydon. 4 years now me hear me off your wedding. Boys flashing off now me bedding. That's a thing with you in your bed sada. Watch a chin around up and you ran out your papa. We see from the name the word sham or shade Prada. Or am Beyonce and so your nancy who is a gaga. Wara wana na konyane kala kama na hana kama fanyane basa never pay with allow money hala ne wo kasenti won pa basonya dakta da. Tagwatro number $100 bill. So that's myself a command on your friend on so when you put my fabric sham the man and so Jimmy went for 2 bonity on pen now for now you may be a psychologist. Show me sick as ye economist. Only me you may from a rheumatologist apart from the Jasobia one and a gynecologist. Me didn't be the trying melodies. Me ma missy hey na me trying apologies. Sanya me need on my feeling madam I be this June I mean I be treated as I'm a holiday.
Let's go.
Skype me more without you like it more.
She's busy waiting for somebody. She's not easy, won't give in to anybody. She's patiently waiting for her honey. She don't want your money, our hearts are in harmony. See, I am busy waiting for somebody. Yo, better me know what you mean.
Get me York's rent-a-car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent-A-Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent-A-Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue-chip companies as well as individual clients.
At a time we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well per our standards.
Their services is top-notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels. And anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Yes. Excellent. York's Rent-A-Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent-A-Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. Two of us are open for him. York's Rent-A-Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
Fantastic. Welcome back. That was a beautiful song, and you know that meant that Ochiame Kwame is in the house. Yes. Welcome, Ochiame.
Thank you.
Anika, it's a privilege to have you tonight because you've run away. But we'll talk about that after the show. But welcome to the Hangout.
Thank you. The honor is all mine.
You know, one day we were having Ochiame on the show, and I was hanging out with Anika backstage. That wasn't on stage; it was off. And then I was telling Anika that Anika, I like the way you kind of go back, but is there one day that you think of coming out? And Anika was like, not really. I don't think so. Ochiame should do all that. But today I managed to get her into the studio. So guys, yes. you're really privileged. And so what brought Anika to the studio today? So let's find out. Anika, I want you to start the conversation today. What about this book?
So this book is called Love Lockdown. Mm-hmm. It is 2 books in one. One is Finding a Lasting Love Relationship, and the other one is Maintaining a Lasting Love Relationship. Now, we had always decided to write this book for a long time now, but then every time we kept pushing it back. when lockdown came, we couldn't go anywhere. I mean, we were
locked.
Yes, we were stuck in the country, and we decided, why not do this? I mean, so it took us a year to put this together. Now, this book is not about a perfect relationship. It's about finding the balance or equilibrium between two people who are not the same. So, or who sometimes share similarities and sometimes don't. So that's what Love Lockdown is about. It documents our journey and also a few research materials that we found. We've put it together, and this is what Love Lockdown is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dedication says, we dedicate this song to you, our dearly beloved children, Kwame Bota Nsiampao and Santi Abna Nchua Nsiampao. We have unbridled discussions about lots of subjects, so we pray you never lead a monotonous lifestyle, cave into some meaningless pressures of society, and be forced into any relationship you deem not worthy, in capitals. Even though you're not old enough for the romantic love we discuss in this book, we pray that someday, when you get there, you find our experiences a guiding beacon. No matter when you find that your partner is not meant for you, may this book guide you to have the willpower to make the best decision that will not leave you to succumb to a depressing ideal in suppression of a lifetime of happiness. Love is beautiful. Marriage is a wholehearted meal, but do not take the plunge because it will make somebody else happy. By all means, do not be afraid to make mistakes, but learn the key lessons from them and forge upward or forward. We wish total love liberation for you, and no matter when and where and why you pick up this book, may you always, always, always be encouraged to find true love that locks you down. And that is a dedication to their two beautiful children, Kwame and Santi. And you see them in various videos, especially the latest album that you released with them. But so this is to Santi. So does it mean that this is only Santi, or we have people in this country, even outside the country, that can read them, Kwame?
Yes, so everyone can read it. But this book is written as though the exact advice I would give two of the youngest, most innocent, most loving people. If I was made to advise my own children about love and relationship, exactly what I would tell them is what we put in this book. So it is to tell you of how the honest approach that we took to preparing this piece. So everybody that I love should read this book.
And by the way, Rev and I were privileged to be part of those that were dedicated to us. They said, special thanks to the shining examples of couples working together and staying together no matter what. And then you find Albert and Comforter Cran.
Yes.
Yes. So then we go into the book. I know this book. Yes, you had it for Kwame and Santi, but when I read it, or when I went through it, and it was very voluminous, but it was very insightful as well, and it traces what you have done, how connected the world is, and the fact that even when we discuss the topic that should I say the taboo topic of sex, the way the two of you drill it from separate viewpoints. I know this is not the one of those, but why did you choose to have it from different perspectives? Because when Albert and I are writing, we usually talk about, argue around, and then come to one point and then say it, you know, as from a united front. But you decided to come from two angles. Are your angles that different? Why?
Yes.
Annika is
No, let Annika start.
Okay, ladies first.
Yes.
So generally, we went from that angle because our angles are totally different most of the times. Kwame and I share very opposing views. In fact, that is one of the reasons why this book is.
Okay.
Because when you read the book, you would realize that everything about us is supposed to make this not work. But because there's communication and a few other things, it works. And so we decided to bring this not from a point of view where we have agreed, but as we are. So we do not share the same views on sex before marriage, and we put it in as it is, very raw, very us. Because we also realize that people do that. I mean, there are two opposing views in the world right now. So, and probably maybe more, but people at one section think that sex before marriage isn't a thing. The other thinks that it is a thing. So we share it so that everyone that shares either of our views can dig in.
Right. So how do you find love? How does, I mean, because we have many young people who are looking for love. How do they find love?
To find love.
Because I know it's treated here. That's what I'm asking.
To find love, you have to become love.
You have to become love.
Yes.
Why?
Because you cannot give what you don't have. It has a Latin, Nemo die could not have it. You can't give what you don't have.
Rose.
You know, so to find love, you yourself must become love. And how do you become love? By first understanding that it is in man's nature to love. So let me give you a small, let me tell you a small story.
Okay.
So a teacher and a student, a young student, they are on a path going somewhere. Then they get to a place where they saw a snake in the bushes and the shrubs burning. And then the teacher quickly tries to save the snake bites him. And then he says, ouch. Then he drops the snake back into the fire. Then he gets a stick and still tries to save the snake. Then the teacher said, the student said, teacher, you are very foolish. This snake just bit you and you are trying to save it. Then the teacher told the student, it is in a snake's nature to bite, but it is in man's nature to love. You know, so because we have, as humans, because we have almost all the four attributes of God, which is love, wisdom, power, forgotten the last one. Because of that, it is in our nature to love, because God
is love.
And therefore, when a human being reaches the highest level of his human beingness, you see that he begins to act with kindness, with love, with service. So before a man can give love, that person must become God or become love. And then at that
become the fullness.
Exactly.
Realize.
Of where you understand that to live means to give. Where you understand that
to live means to give.
Yes. Where you understand that once you say you love someone, you have made a promise that no matter what, you are going to help that someone blossom. Then at that point, you understand that you do good, not because you expect it back. You do good because it is in your nature to help others blossom. Once you get to that point, everything that you touch becomes love. So that is how we speak of it in the book. So the whole idea is that we know that as children, we are born pure. Then our parents, through their troubles, they break us. They tell us all sorts of things. For example, a girl, at 10 will be told that if you don't marry, you don't mean anything. A woman's wealth is in her marriage. This one. And then we are told all sorts of strange things. Life is war. So you grow up with preconceived ideas. How do you unlearn all those things to come to believe, to come to trust, to come to a point where you can love without fear? So to become love, you must first delete all the fears that have been introduced to you, and then be able to say, I am with Annika no matter what. So for us, I mean, the definition of love in this book is that to make a promise to someone that you're going to help them grow, become better, no matter what.
Okay.
Exactly. Have I said something?
You have said, I think it's very... no, he didn't try. I think it was a very significant input. Because some people try to find love in others. And until you come to that realization that you are full in and of yourself, and you are willing to give of yourself, not for just 2 years or for 2 weeks, but for the rest of your life, whilst you are together, that awareness or that point that you get to, it makes you find the person who you would like to live to. So you didn't just say something. You did something very, very significant.
Thank you.
That some people have not yet discovered, and therefore sometimes they go around in all sorts of relationships, and they keep on finding or asking the other person to
love them,
to validate them when
Yes.
they haven't yet understood themselves or even why they are in that relationship.
So let me add one more.
Yes.
Now that you say I've said something. So this is the philosophical side of finding love.
Okay.
But there are true tricks that we discuss here in this book.
Hey, tell us, because we need the shortcuts too.
Exactly. So, for example, you are done with learning a trade. You are done with your school. You are a girl. You are looking for someone to love you. You have prepared yourself.
You don't look for someone to love you. You are looking for someone
to love. Exactly.
Yes. So
Exactly.
It's a reciprocal thing. Yes.
Exactly. So you are looking for someone to love. Where do you put? So, for example,
position.
Where do you position yourself? Because you know that in our society, Anika cannot come to me and say, "Oh, Chemi, I think you are really cute."
Who said so?
The culture says so. So how do you like? So we treat it in this book where we use the Akan adage. Say, "Akoko bedie, eni madeche," and so we're trying onini and san. That the female, the hen, knows that it's in the morning, but it waits for the cock to crow. You know, in that vein, what we are trying to say is that I'm not enforcing that tradition. What I'm saying is that what tradition enforces us, that a woman must not go and propose to a man. However, you can give him an invitation to treat. So how do you do that? By first becoming love, and then by second positioning yourself for him to find you. How do you do that? So if you go to Roman Catholic for a while, the men there are not seeing you. You need to try ICGC. One Sunday. You know, that's to change the environment small. You see?
Can you imagine? I mean, is he kidding?
I'm telling you.
Anika, please, let's hear your perspective, because
so
I can see that this.
Let me land.
No. This land India won't let you land.
When you have said that he has a point, but I will not hear the end of it when we get home.
Oh no!
Every minute will be like, see.
Let me add 2 more points.
Okay, add 2 more points, and then we hear from Anika's perspective, because we are reading the book.
And then the second thing that you can do to be found is also change your social circles.
Okay.
You know, so you are a lawyer. Don't always go to court and come home. Once in a while, see an Ochame Kwame event. Some really cool guys come there. You know.
Really? You're a guy and you've been going to moot court, or you've been there all the time, or maybe you are a doctor and then you go to a Chame Kwame conference.
Exactly. You know, change your social circle small. Join the Rotary Club. You know, do something. That's something that's social. Go to funerals. Go to parties and make yourself available. And then the last one that I would say is that you can check out some really cool guys online.
But Anika, isn't it that sometimes the statuses that we see online, they are not always true?
It is true.
Uh-huh.
But what that means is that you test the waters.
You test the waters.
So how do you
test the waters?
So when you are going to swim, you don't just dive in. You don't know whether the water is hot or cold. You put your feet in and then gradually see if it is the temperature that you like.
Okay, so is that what you did?
Yes, that's what I did. And I think that's what most girls do. That's why it brings me back to sex before marriage.
Okay.
Where when you meet the person, I know a lot of people will have different opinions because Kwame sort of does. But then you don't just sleep with the person immediately. Because when it happens like that, then emotions are entangled. Then you cannot make sane decisions because your emotions are involved.
Yeah.
But when you have not had any sexual relation with the person, it's, I'm not saying always, but it is sometimes mostly easier to make decisions that are with the head.
Yeah.
The right head. So that is how that should be. So you test the waters. It's true. Social media is not always given the impression.
No, it's
that,
not.
Yes.
It's not. Okay, right. Okay, Annika, we have Kinsley Asari, Charles Osei, Evelyn Afre, Ifya Jankuma, Cherry Harper, Kwame Asari, and Asante Prince Kwache says, I'm enjoying every bit of it. And Albert Akono Ata says, good stuff. And we have Eunice Na Adeki saying that, okay, I'm going to say, beside every successful man is not just a woman, but a sweet and strong, please fan her, a sweet and strong woman. God bless your home.
Thank you.
I like the fact that she said beside, not behind. Because that behind thing is behind. That behind thing pass beside.
Definitely.
Even sometimes in front. Yeah, we just don't say it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. And Eunice again says that wow, lovely set. Thank you, Eunice. My love for these couple and sneakers is making me cry. Sneakers are talking.
We did it.
If Yajakuma says, I love you guys. I mean, yeah. So do keep your messages coming in. We really love to hear from you. And if you do have any questions for them, to let us have it, and I'll definitely share it with them on set today. You have a 2019 family survey of Ghanaians in your book on page 122.
Yes.
And you talk about different reasons why people get married.
Yes.
And you have for companionship, to raise and have children, to meet social expectations, to have somebody to build a future with, which was a whopping 52%.
Yes.
And then we have others, just 3%. So then, if we have this survey that has been carried out in 2019, with people who have at least a secondary education, and as we go on, we realize that, well, you thought you were going to have somebody to build a future, and that means that you were 22%. But as you went into it, you realize that, this person, either because the person hasn't yet thought of their future, so there's a challenge, there's a disparity there. How do you then work together to attain this future? Is it good? So this comes to my question. Is it good that before people get married, they discuss what kind of future they would like to have? Don't give me a yes or no. Explain it.
So what's explain?
No, I'm saying that why is it important? Is it important? If it is, why is it important?
Well, so in this book, we treat crucial conversations at the end of each chapter.
Okay.
And one such crucial conversations is when you meet the person the first time. You have to ask them so many questions.
Okay.
There are the date questions. There are the when you decide to date exclusively questions, and then there are when you decide to be in a relationship questions, then engagement questions, so and so on. So you need to have these crucial conversations to make sure that truly this is the person that you want to go into the relationship with. Kwame will give some of the questions, but then what hinders these discussions is that sometimes when you are about to have the discussions, you think, if I have the discussion and he or she leaves, what will I do? But then a stitch in time, pardon the cliche, everyone, saves 9.
100.
So, yes, so if you have it now and he leaves, it saves you a lifetime of wahala. So then, what are some of the questions?
Okay, so some of the questions to consider, my boss. Number one, what are your short, medium, and long-term goals in life? What experiences of other married couple would you like in your marriage? For example, Annika and I, we love you and Uncle Albert.
Thank you.
We like to have our marriage like yours when we are your age. What experiences of, okay, do you plan on having children? If so, how many? If not, why not? If we decide not to have children, but if we decide to have children by find out that we are unable, what will be our next option? Are there any sexual preferences, anxieties, or no-go areas that you would like to discuss? Have you been physically or sexually abused in your past? Do you have a child or children from your prior relationship? If either of you have a child, is there any history of family health-related issues you would like to discuss? Have you ever been unfaithful? How do you feel about fidelity now? How much involvement would you like our families to have in our marriage? Which religion or denomination will we subscribe to in raising our children? How do we manage your personal finances now? Have you ever been in debt? Why did it happen? How do you plan to get out of it? How much should we spend on our marriage? What is the most effective way I can help you calm down when you are angry? What is your preferred method for resolving conflicts? Do you have any criminal history? How would we manage our use of social media? What are your thoughts on exercising, nutrition, and mental health? What is your vision for the kind of profession you would like to have in the future? What price are you willing to pay in order to achieve your goals in life? Where would you like us to live after we get married?
Prof.
Yes. These
Bossman. Hey, Ochame, but this is more than doing a PhD research. No, but guys, I mean, let's all jokes aside. This really makes you drill down to why you are even in any relationship.
Exactly.
And therefore, if you are able to get those questions answered in the most honest way,
thank you, professional.
You can tell yourself that are we made for each other?
Exactly.
And I remember when Albert and I there was one question: how would we the language that we will speak with our children. And I was of the firm belief that, look, our children, they'll go to school, they'll learn English, our local language. They will not have the opportunity to learn it. Then therefore, let's teach them the local language and let's speak the local language at home. When they go to school, they'll learn English and find their way there. Unfortunately, Albert didn't understand that. So we had quite a number of funny arguments about that. And if we had done this questionnaire, Ochiame Kwame, why didn't you write this book when we were dating?
I wasn't born when you guys were dating. That was immediately after the floods. This is before Ham and Shem and Canaan, and I'm telling you, I wasn't around.
Oh, my friend.
But Mexis, honestly, like when we looked at that research, when we asked people, there was only 3% of the people that didn't answer that I'm looking for a partner because my parents want me to get married, because I need to rent, we need to cohabitate, especially in England. So what happens that we didn't find many young people say we got married because we were deeply in love. We didn't see that. And when we got married, it's also in the book.
Right.
A lady from GBC, an elderly woman that can give birth to both of us, came to Kumasi to interview us for television.
Okay.
And then she asked us, why have you gotten married? And then Annika said, we are getting married because we are best friends and we can't have enough of each other. So we are making it official. The woman said no. What did she say?
Said no. Answer again. Then I said the same thing. Then she said, no, you say you are married because you want to have children. I said no.
So this woman is like almost 70 years old. This is her idea of what marriage is. What if one of us is terrible? What if we don't want children? What if we want to go and do some work with you, and what we want to travel the world? Why should we get married because we want to have children? You know, so if all these stereotypes, and people do not get married because once you get married because you love your partner, it doesn't matter whether she has changed or whether she is not changing. It is still love with this person no matter what. Friend.
Your best friend and your sweetheart.
Exactly.
You know, I don't want to go for a break, but I have to go for a break. This is Love Lockdown with Ochiame and Anika. Please don't go anywhere. And I would actually tell you, please tell your friends to log on quickly, because honestly, this Love Lockdown is one that we must look at. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The fireworks flashed, the champagne fizzed, and the players shed tears of joy. Chelsea were champions of Europe. But just 4 months ago, Chelsea's former coach Frank Lampard said the team was not ready to compete for trophies. So what changed? Today, our game changer is inspiring belief. It's no exaggeration to say that Thomas Tuchel saved Chelsea's season. The German coach took over after Lampard's exit and turned the team around. People often credit this transformation to his odd tactics like using mini football and banana-shaped pitches, but his man management is the real secret. Lampard made players feel like they weren't good enough, and it showed in their results. Tuchel disagreed. He defiantly insisted that his players were ready to win trophies now, not in 3 to 5 years. He took a chance on underperforming players who repaid his faith. And there's no better example of this than N'Golo Kante. The French midfielder had struggled with injuries, which affected his output. His interceptions had dropped by 28%, while his tackling plummeted 42% from its peak. Things got so bad that Kante was almost sold in January. But when Tuchel came in, he declared that he had always wanted to work with Kante. He boosted Kante's self-belief and shifted him back to his favorite number 6 role. The response was resounding. Kante worked hard to regain his form and crowned the season with man-of-the-match performances in Chelsea's 3 biggest games. It's natural to want to replace people who are underperforming, but sometimes all they need is someone to say, "I believe in you." So who are you going to believe in this week? This has been The Game Changer with Jojo Okran. Have a phenomenal week.
Welcome back. You're on the Springboard Hangouts, and we are hanging out today with Ochiame and Anika. We are talking about Love Lockdown, and Jojo Okran just came to us with a game changer with inspiring belief. And Ochiame and Anika are inspiring belief in us that indeed Love Lockdown is very possible if you take deliberate steps, or somebody will say strategic steps.
Or in the book we say intentional.
Intentional, living with intentionality. I really believe that concept as well. Fantastic. Okay, so I mean, you made a very interesting point, or a very valid point about the questions that people should ask themselves. And I remember when you're saying it, I remember when I was dating Albert, one day I asked myself, so this gentleman, am I prepared to, if God wills, am I prepared to live with him for the next 50 years? Would I love to see his face every single day, morning and night, for the next 50 years? And if I can answer it, I mean, honestly to myself, I know that is yes or no. I looked at the guy and I realized, I check him out.
He's the guy.
He's
one of the coolest.
He is the guy. So yes, I'm willing to live for the next 50 years. So those questions are very crucial for us to answer. Okay, so let's lock down in there. So that is kind of, technically we can say we found love.
Yes.
I like the timeline that you draw about love. I wonder what page that is. But you have this lovely timeline that one day I was talking to a young lady and I said, usually you have the seeing somebody and then you decide that, I like the person, then you take the person. I think it's on page 60, yes, the relationship spectrum, on page 67. And then you are dating small, then you date exclusively in a relationship. But the person said, no. When it's a date, when the person is The minute the person is a girlfriend, then you are engaged. And I said, how possible? Please, can you go out along the relationship spectrum for me? No, but I want Annika to do it.
She
Annika,
has a nice voice.
Yes, please help us.
So when you are, before you even enter a relationship, there are stages.
Yeah.
One is that you like the person, and then they also like you.
Yeah.
Then you start dating. When you date, it is simply here that this is when two people are getting to know each other in order to figure out if they can move forward to the next stage. So you can be hanging out or going to parties, etc. This does not mean that you cannot also be hanging out with other people, because dating can be with everyone. Then you move from there, when you've decided you like each other, to dating exclusively. Now, this is the part where you have both agreed that now we are not going to date other people. We are not sowing our royal oats again. We are dating each other only. So when you are dating, it is okay to let them know that you are also dating other people. So dating does not mean you are in a relationship. You are just hanging out. Then after dating exclusively, you come to be in a relationship where both of you have now had extensive discussions on what you want to do. By this time, you would have had a lot of crucial conversations that are stated in the book. Then you come to in a relationship, and it says that admittedly, each stage is a form of a relationship. However, being a romantic relationship refers to a specific stage where the two people invest resources such as time, money, gifts, services, ideas, emotions. At this stage, there are so many invested emotions and things in this stage. Then when you leave here, you come to courting. So even if you are in a relationship, it does not mean that you are courting. You have to clearly, at every point in these stages, you have to clearly agree.
Yeah.
The two of you must agree. You cannot think that or assume that this is what's happening.
Yeah.
You must speak about it.
Yeah.
This is where broken heart comes in, where one thinks they are dating, one thinks they are in a relationship, then it becomes a whole murky situation. So from relationship, you come to courtship. Then you come to engaged. Then you come to married.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. And I like the spectrum.
I want to say something. One thing.
Please go ahead.
You are not engaged until both of your parents or both of your caretakers have agreed that you are courting.
Okay.
It's key.
Okay.
So the level that changes you from courting to engaged is now that your mother or your uncle has gone to see the girl's uncle or mother, and both families know that
but from my angle, the Moshe Sheho doesn't include any sex, does it?
No, talk to this one. Talk to this one.
Let's agree on.
So this is where my sex before marriage comes in.
Your no sex before marriage.
Yes, no sex before marriage discussion. Because, I mean, at any point in these stages, people who believe marriage is okay can have sex. However, I am thinking no sex in these stages until you are actually ready.
Thank you. Because I mean, that person, I mean, you have people who are dating, they've just known each other for 2 days, and then the next time they are in bed together, and you're like, what do you understand about each other? What is the person's ethos? What is the person's actual worldview? And you're just going, please. I mean, okay, this is old school, I know, but I love old school, and I'm still old school for that one.
Anti-comfort.
Yes.
So Kwame and I discuss our opposing views in this thing.
Yes.
And then he says that one of his arguments is the fact that if you are buying a Ferrari or a Benz or whatever car you cherish, how don't you take it for a test drive?
I was about to say something, but I've actually held my mouth.
And I am thinking, we are not things, we are not possessions.
Thank you.
So, well, this is also sometimes not just the man saying that they want to do that. It's also sometimes consensual.
Yeah.
So we cannot all dump the blame on just the man.
Yeah.
Yes.
But basically, these are people with feelings. I mean, both cases, you are human beings with feelings, and therefore you get some vested interest, whether you like it or not, especially when you are on the courtship. But honestly, one of the things I don't like, and that's why I really admire them, is talking about relationships personally. Because I feel that relationships, it's a different kettle of fish. It's a different kettle of fish. Annika,
Auntie.
so we've talked about, at least I think with our conversation this evening, people have realized that indeed it's possible to be deliberate about finding love. And after doing that deliberate thing, it's also okay to actually go through certain stages. However, we all know that finding love doesn't always mean that it ends, quote unquote, well.
Yes.
There are breakups.
Yeah.
How do we handle breakups? Do you talk about that in the book?
I
know you do.
We do. So there's a page here that says sometimes people break up. That's page 75.
Page 75, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
This is because, sometimes it's because you are not on the same page. And sometimes you may have been on the same page and everything, but then at some point you had to break up. Every time Kwame and I say that we are not products like Omo or drink that do not have emotions. So sometimes one person wakes up and they decide, look, this is not what I want to do. But then what happens when people decide to break up? What we suggest is that they must have honest conversations. These are very difficult conversations that you must have. It becomes even more painful when one of them just MIAs. They just get up and vanishes. That becomes very difficult. Then the person is just wondering, what did I do? Is there something I did? Could I have done it better? And then it creates mental torture for the person that has been left. So we suggest that people must have honest conversations. When they do that, it's easier. It's not easy completely that they're leaving anyway, but it gives the person clarity. That this is why they are leaving, and if it is their fault, maybe they will not repeat their faults next time. Or if it is not, then they know that they did the best they could. And there is a saying that I like to say that breakup is your savior that did not let you take the plunge into a lifelong misery. Because if you did not get that breakup, it would have happened probably when you had kids, and it would be a whole different situation. When every day that you stay in a relationship that can potentially break up makes you more miserable and prepares you for a bigger breakup.
Kwame, do you have anything to contribute here? I know you would have some questions for us, but you...
No. I just want to add that breakups, we also look at why breakups are painful.
Okay.
And I honestly, I have been through many painful breakups. My heart.
You really sowed some wild oats.
Oh yes. I used to and I think that the thing.
What was your most? Okay, tell us. What was your most painful one?
Breakup. So I'm in New York with this girl, and then this girl travels to Ghana, and then she gets a boyfriend, and her friend that wants me calls me, and she does like a three-way, and I'm on the phone. He say, "Mommy, where are you?" So I'm with my boyfriend. Why? Really? Kwame is here waiting for you. Are you with the boyfriend? She said, "Oh, in Ghana, the men tintin with money to spend, men."
So you remember the words to date?
Yes, and I'm on the phone, and then.
But she didn't know you were a silent listener to a conversation.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. So he said, "I would tell Kwame," and then he said, "I can't catch them found me." So I hung up. My heart was broken, and insults on injury. I didn't also have a place to sleep, so now I have to break up with this girl and become homeless in New York in winter.
In winter, that was a miserable one. So yes, and we have different people. People are really enjoying the conversation. Bella says that Star Model says that I'm proud of Springboard Roadshow. Gloria Clarissa Jiha, Doc says that nice, and we have Yao Force, and that's wonderful. Charlotte says that you are blessing my evening. Why? You're also blessing us by listening to us. Why?
Thank you.
Alfred, a 3-year Bimpon says, absolutely amazing. Bra Kwame, I'm learning a lot from you. May God continue to bless your marriage. And Eunice says, wow, great questions. I hope everyone listens and acts on these. Trust me, when this happens, the rate of divorces would drastically drop. I'm so getting this book. So even though we've not reached there, Kwame, where can we get this book, please?
All EPP shops.
Okay.
All Kingdom bookshops.
Okay.
All university bookshops. You go to www.kasua.com. KASUWAH, kasua.com. You can go to lovelockdown.com and buy it with a Momo Visa card. And we will take your money.
If you also go to Seco Center, it's there in Kumasi. It's also at Santis Hair or Natville. You can get it.
You can also find that Beautiful Beneath at East Legon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right. This book is all about. They're saying this all over the place. Would scroll the various places where you can find it on for you. And so I want us. We've looked at how to find love.
Yes.
Time is going. We've even found how people break up. The conversations there are plenty. Please take the book. You have a dating assessment. Can you zoom in on this one for me? You have a dating assessment, so you have questions here. It's a chart, kind of.
Yes.
And then you have exceeds 3, meets 2. It's on page 100.
That's not me.
Yes.
So this one, after you've gone on the date and you've asked all the questions that you are supposed to ask, then later you fill the form.
Yeah.
If that person, clear communication, speaking, 3, then or 2,
1,
or does not meet 1. Clear, respect for self and others. So whilst you are on a date with this girl or boy, you watch the way he or she is speaking to the waitress. Is he respectful to the watchman? Did he greet the security? If something drops, is he trying to pick it up? If you took the taxi, did he give a tip? How is he relating to other people? Because Kwasiana say, so if you have to pay attention to personality, emotional health, is he erratic? You've been with him for a while. What he's saying, or sporadic with behavior. Capacity for empathy is what I just said. Capacity for commitment. So you said a time, we are meeting at 7. And then 7:45, this guy is not here. He comes, there's no, I'm sorry, there's no cock and bull story, no explanation, no remorse, just sits down, things like that. You need to watch out all these things and give them marks. So we actually gave you parts here, so you can add, other things that we didn't discuss. And once you do the maths and you calculate the mean average, and you think he's not the guy, kick him to the curb.
Or the lady.
Yes, or the lady.
Because it goes both ways. And anyway, whilst we were talking about this, I was also thinking that it must be part of your personal ethos as well. Because if you don't care for these things, you wouldn't even notice that somebody is not practicing it.
It's true.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, before you become so enamored with somebody, so totally hung up on somebody, please, I think you should read this book before you even find love. But if you found love already, how do we stay together? That's book 2.
Book 2, yes.
So we are going to turn the book upside down.
It's a beautiful experience. Beautiful experience.
Book 2. How do you really keep the love locked down? Tell us.
Anika or me?
Anika, this is you.
You start.
Okay, I should start. Okay. So I think that at this moment, let's just say that now we've gone through the trajectory. We are at, say, engaged. At this moment, your relationship is no longer a secret. At least you've posted her on a birthday, or your parents know, your friends, a few friends know. So one thing that is really key is how do you deal with third parties? How do you deal with the people that she works with? How do you deal with her best friends? How do you deal with her parents? How do you deal with third parties, in-laws? Because some in-laws are outlaws.
My in-laws are simply the best.
My in-laws are better than yours.
Thank you very much.
My in-laws are better than your in-laws.
Charlie,
but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
At this point, how do you deal with third parties?
Yeah.
I think it's very, very crucial.
Yeah.
Because there maybe you have boys that you go and sit down and drink a couple of bottles after, you know, then are you still on that trajectory? Should you change? What do you tell them? You know, so we look at that one.
Yeah.
And then we come to look at the marriage proper.
Yeah.
You know, now that both, you know, meeting meeting her parents or meeting his parents, how do you dress? Do you go with your big beard? If you are a bragger, is that the time to tone down? When you go and they try to intimidate you at the table, how do you resist? Are you to let your partner stand up for you, or you stand up for yourself and destroy everything? We look at that one too. And then, now thinking of the marriage proper, how much money do you spend on it? I think it's key.
Yeah.
So how much money do you spend on it? For example, Annika and I, we spent less than 300 Ghana cedis on our marriage. Because aside the rings, because our marriage had only 7 people.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a few people, 700 Ghana, because we think that the ceremony is not the marriage.
Thank you.
It is the life after the ceremony.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
People spend 100K and so on a marriage that you and some of them they go and borrow. Please. It's just that the two of you have decided to go together. We invite 2 people. You need witnesses. That's all.
Exactly.
From her side, his side. You don't even need cake.
But you see, we have to clarify. If you have money, you can splurge.
No. But even if you have money, you don't need to splurge. Okay.
People are looking for opportunities to throw funerals and big parties. That's not the story for everybody. So if you have money, enjoy.
Okay.
But if you are hustling like me 12 years ago, you have to cut your coat according to the parts.
According to the size.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
You know, so third parties.
Our time is almost is up. Our time is not almost. Our time is up. But I think one thing that I like about the staying together is celebrating each other.
Oh, that's true.
I want you to just
Quick
1 second on celebrating each other. How important to keep the love going, please. The marriage, everything going.
I mean, everyone, each of you may know how the other person feels about you. But then once you reiterate it to the person, then they know that, oh, wow, I feel cherished. Affirmations. So this is very, very important to, each other. So you tell them nice things. You are looking amazing. You look beautiful. This thing that you did for me, thank you. Aww. This was excellent.
Yeah.
Once you keep saying those things, not only does it rekindle your love, it also, if you have children, it also makes them see that this is the right way to go. They are also very generous with compliments for other people.
Let me also add that we took some parts of love languages into this, but we got permission from the writer first. So love language, understanding the love language is very, very important. For example, I love touch. I love to be touched. Annika loves act of service. So if you wake up in the morning, you mop the house. That
you've
day,
killed
Annika.
You know, bros.
Exactly, but for
you know
me,
it. You know it.
I do.
That's
So, you know,
okay, so
let's finish.
You realize that the book is so bulky and so filled with such nuggets that any relationship that is already doing well will even thrive after reading it. And most importantly, if you are now going to a relationship, please don't go without reading this book. I would encourage you, go to any bookshop anywhere within the country, or call, we'll get the number to you, we'll put it in the link, and then go and get it. I would like to say thank you so much, Annika and Oshiami, for coming around. And I say next week, or this coming Sunday, don't forget to watch Springboard, your virtual university. Albert would be on the program with Adiki Aitevi. She is from Newmont, Ghana, head of sustainability, and she will be talking to us about her top 10. And very, very interestingly, next week Thursday we have a double whopper. We have in the morning we're having a Springboard Road show in the morning, and then in the evening we hanging out again with some lovely ladies you can't afford to miss. And therefore, until we come your way next week, we love you And please remember to stay locked down in whatever relationship you are in. God bless you and have a lovely evening. Bye.
Reason to have the flags out at Westminster. They welcomed delegates to the Commonwealth Prime Minister's Conference. Then came the news of a united attempt to seek peace in Vietnam. President Nkrumah of Ghana will be in the peace mission. And coming out into the garden now, Mr. Shastri of India, Premier Wilson with Dr. Banda, Malawi, and Dr. Obote, Uganda.
If you want to walk with me, my baby, oh, let's learn to crawl with me, my baby, oh. If you want to run with me, my baby, oh, sometimes you walk with me, my baby, oh. If you want to fly with me, my baby, oh, sometimes you run with me, my baby, oh. If you want to land with me, my baby, oh, first have to fly with me, my baby, oh. I love you, it's so easy to say, oh. I need you, I have plenty to do. I want you, it be like say we didn't play, oh. But I'll grow with you, I ain't gonna make one love stay, oh. Small, small, I know get you dough, I know get them so cool, make you no foco, we go in lotto.